The visit was supposed to be simple, just a quick stop at the Kane house to drop off a small gift for Drew and maybe offer some support. But nothing is ever simple in Port Charles anymore. And especially not when you walk into the home of a woman who is actively keeping a dark, violent secret hidden right in plain sight. Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson walked into that house completely unaware of the absolute nightmare they were stepping into. They thought they were visiting a man recovering from a tragic shooting, but they were actually visiting a hostage. Drew Kane is trapped in his own body, paralyzed by an undetectable drug that mimics a stroke. And Willow Kane is the one holding the syringe. So when Kai and Trina sat down in that living room, they were sitting across from a predator who has already proven she is capable of extreme violence. And they just dropped the biggest, most dangerous breadcrumbs possible right into her lap. And it all started with a ringtone, a simple, innocent little melody, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That is the ringtone Willow uses for Wiley. But it is also the exact same sound that echoed through the house on the night Drew was shot. So when Trina casually identified that ringtone right in front of Willow, the air in that room must have turned to absolute ice. Because Willow doesn't miss anything. She calculates, she watches, she processes every single piece of information that comes her way. And in that split second, Willow realized the horrifying truth. Trina and Kai were hiding in the bedroom when she pulled the trigger. They were there. They heard the phone, they know the sound. And even if they haven't fully put all the pieces together yet, they have the puzzle box right in their hands. That single moment of recognition from Trina might have just signed Kai Taylor's death warrant. Because Kai didn't just stop there. He kept talking. He let things slip. He mentioned the baseball bat that the cops confiscated. He mentioned how the sound of the phone carries all the way to the bedroom, just dumping raw, unfiltered information without realizing who he was talking to. He thought he was just making conversation. But he was actually handing Willow the exact blueprint of his own destruction. Willow is not the sweet, innocent schoolteacher anymore. She is a woman with everything to lose. She is a mother who has crossed a line she can never uncross. And when a woman like that realizes someone holds the key to her absolute downfall, she does not hesitate. She acts, she calculates the risk, and she eliminates the threat. And right now, Kai Taylor is the biggest threat in her entire world. So let's talk about Drew. Because Drew is sitting right there in that wheelchair, unable to move, unable to speak, just locked inside his own mind while this entire terrifying conversation happens right in front of him. And Drew heard that ringtone too. He remembered hearing Wiley's ringtone right after the bullet hit him. And when Trina recognized it, something clicked inside Drew's paralyzed brain. He realized it too. He realized Kai and Trina were in the house. He realized they know. And the sheer frustration of knowing the truth but being completely unable to scream it out loud has to be agonizing. Drew was a good mentor to Kai. He cared about the kid. And now he has to sit there and watch Kai stumble blindly into a lethal trap set by the woman Drew used to love. But Drew is not entirely helpless. He is fully conscious behind that paralysis. He is aware of every single conversation happening in that house. And he is desperate to communicate. So don't be surprised if Drew attempts to reach out to Kai the only way he can, by blinking an SOS message, hoping, praying that Kai is observant enough to catch it, if Drew can just get Kai to look at his eyes. To see the desperation, to read the Morse code, it is a massive long shot, but it might be the only chance Drew has at exposure. And it might be the only chance Kai has to realize the danger he is in before it is too late. Because if Kai figures out that Willow has been chemically neutralizing the man he once looked up to, he is going to want to act. He is going to want to save Drew. And that is exactly what will get him killed. Because Willow is always watching. She is steps away from every interaction Kai has in that home. She watches his face. She clocks his hesitations. She analyzes every micro-expression. And the absolute second she senses that Kai knows the truth, it is game over. The same undetectable paralytic drug she used on Drew becomes Kai's fate. It is so easy. A fatal injection, a quick prick of a needle, and Kai just stops breathing. It mimics a stroke. It leaves no trace. It is the perfect weapon for a woman who needs to make a problem disappear without drawing the attention of the Port Charles Police Department. And Willow has access to it. She has the means. She has the motive. And she has the complete lack of moral restraint required to pull it off. And if the drug isn't enough, she has Jen Sidwell. Let's not forget about the monster lurking in the shadows of this entire storyline. Sidwell is the one providing Willow with the paralytic. He is the one blackmailing her. He is the one pulling the strings. And Sidwell has absolutely demonstrated that he is capable of making problems vanish permanently. Just look at what is happening over at Windermere. Look at the chaos at Pier 55. Sidwell is a man who operates outside the law and outside of basic human decency. And right now, Sidwell is grieving. He just lost his son Marco to Ross Cullum's blade. Marco was stabbed to death and left to bleed out in Alexis Davis's office. So Sidwell is no longer operating with any restraint whatsoever. He is unhinged. He is vengeful. And he is looking for blood. So imagine what happens if Willow makes one simple phone call. She calls Sidwell. She tells him that Kai Taylor knows too much. She tells him that Kai can expose the shooting, which would unravel their entire arrangement. Sidwell would not hesitate. He would view Kai as a loose end that needs to be snipped. He has the resources to make a body disappear without a trace. He has the henchmen. He has the power. If Willow hands Kai over to be dealt with, Sidwell will execute the order with lethal efficiency. Kai has absolutely no idea the kind of predator that Willow and Sidwell represent together. He thinks he is dealing with a stressed-out wife and a tragic medical situation. He doesn't know he is dealing with a ruthless shooter and an international criminal mastermind who just lost his only child. And here is the behind-the-scenes detail that is keeping fans up at night. The cold, hard reality of soap opera mechanics. Jens Austen Astrup is not on contract. That is the massive, glaring red flag waving over this entire storyline. When an actor is not on contract, their character is expendable. They don't have the plot armor that protects the legacy characters. Kai has no family connections in Port Charles. He has no legacy bloodline tying him to the Quartermains, or the Spencers, or the Corinthos family. He has no institutional history on the canvas. His only real anchor to General Hospital is his relationship with Trina. And in the brutal world of daytime drama, that makes him the perfect sacrificial lamb. The narrative mechanics are pointing in one brutal direction. You don't introduce a massive secret, have a non-contract character discover the clues, and then just let them walk away safely. That is not how the genre works. The tension has to break. The stakes have to be raised. And the easiest, most dramatic way to raise the stakes is to drop a body. If Willow concludes that Kai is too dangerous to leave alive, she will eliminate him. A fatal injection. A call to Sidwell. A body that disappears into the harbor or gets buried in the catacombs of Windermere. And a grieving Trina left behind trying to understand what happened to the man she loved. It is dark. It is tragic. But it makes perfect narrative sense. And think about the fallout. Think about what losing Kai would do to Trina. This poor girl has been through so much trauma already. She lost Spencer. She has dealt with Esme's terror. She has navigated her mother's complicated love life. And now she finally finds a connection with Kai, only to have him ripped away by a calculating murderer. Trina would be devastated, but Trina is also smart. She was there when the ringtone went off. She knows what they talked about. If Kai suddenly disappears or turns up dead, Trina is going to start asking questions. She is going to retrace his steps, and her steps are going to lead her right back to Willow Kane's front door. But Trina wouldn't be fighting this battle alone. Because if Kai dies, and if Trina starts digging, other people are going to get pulled into the crossfire. People like Sonny Corinthos. Sonny has always had a soft spot for Trina. He respects her. And Sonny is already dealing with his own massive headaches right now. Ross Cullum murdered Marco and framed Sonny for it. So Sonny is already on the defensive, gearing up for a legal battle with Rick Lansing by his side. But if Sonny finds out that Willow and Sidwell are responsible for hurting someone Trina cares about, the mob boss is going to go to war. A full-on, scorched earth war against Willow and her criminal backer. And that is exactly what this storyline needs. It needs an explosion. It needs the tension to finally snap. Willow has been playing this dangerous game for too long. She has been drugging Drew, lying to Michael, blackmailing Nina through Jack Brennan, and hiding behind her sweet facade. But the facade is cracking. The ringtone was the first major crack. Kai's slip about the bedroom was the second, and soon the whole damn dam is going to break. The price will be devastating. Lives will be ruined. Relationships will be shattered. But on this show, justice rarely comes without a body count first. And right now, Kai Taylor is standing directly on the trap door, so we have to watch Kai's every move. We have to watch Drew's eyes. We have to watch Willow's subtle, terrifying reactions, because the clock is ticking. Kai is walking around Port Charles like a dead man walking. He doesn't know that his knowledge of a simple nursery rhyme has put a target on his back. He doesn't know that the woman offering him coffee in her living room is actively planning his demise. And he certainly doesn't know that Jen Sidwell is just one phone call away from making him a permanent ghost. The danger is real. The stakes are life and death, and Willow Kane is holding all the cards. Stay tuned because some very risky situations are bearing down on Port Charles fast. The walls are closing in on Willow, and a cornered animal is always the most dangerous. Kai Taylor might just be collateral damage in a war he didn't even know he was fighting. And Trina Robinson might be about to face her worst nightmare all over again. The secrets are spilling, the paralytic is ready, and the body count in Port Charles is about to go up. Keep your eyes on the Kane house, because the next time that ringtone plays, it might just be the soundtrack to a murder.